This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Scott Howell.
Hello, good neighbors, and welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast, brought to you by the Friends and Neighbors Group of Cleveland and the Greater Chattanooga area. My name is Scott Howell, of course, and I'm your host. And for you first-time listeners, the purpose of the Good Neighbor Podcast is to bring awareness to the residents of our communities regarding the locally owned and or operated businesses in Cleveland, Chattanooga, and the surrounding areas. Small local businesses are the backbone of our communities, and they need our support. Joining me today is our good neighbor, Bradley Templeton with Beaumont Pest Control. Welcome, Bradley. Thank you for being our special guest today on the Good Neighbor Podcast.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. It's pretty good so far.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Bradley. I appreciate that. Good shout out, they say, for us there. We're going to talk about the business, about Beaumont Pest Control and all the things y'all offer there. But before we do, would you like to share with us a little bit about yourself or your family or anything just for the public?
Well, sure. I come from a small town of Lafayette, Georgia. I've been pretty much raised here, and our family's been here for quite a while. I have a lot of family around this area, matter of fact, and a lot of locals know me and stuff, so it's
Absolutely
been pretty good.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, Bradley is actually the son of the owner, Mr. Robert Templeton, and he's doing the podcast with us today. So your dad must have some good faith in you to depend on to be the representative for the business today, Bradley. So Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Let's just jump in and talk about Beaumont Pest Control. So you said you're based out of Lafayette, Georgia. Now, some people might think of that and but do you work in Chattanooga? Do you come to the Chattanooga area to do work? So tell us all about your business.
Okay. Our business is actually in Ringgold, Georgia, and we service areas all the way down to Somerville, Georgia, all the way to Decatur, Tennessee, and Soddy Daisy, and we'll go all the way out to Signal Mountain and Kelly's Ferry. We'll even go out to Benton, Tennessee, and we do some stuff out towards the Chatsworth, Old Fort, and Dalton, Georgia area.
Okay. So quite a large territory there. So when it says pest control, we're all pretty much used to the guys that come and spray the house, spray outside or inside the house, and do things like that. Put the mouse traps out and things like that. But do you also do termite work?
We do. We do termite inspections for realtors and home sellers and home buyers. We'll do termite treatments and other forms or fashions. We provide pest control as well as, of course, and then we also do a little bit of rodent control, and we'll do stuff for businesses and family homes.
Rodent control, is that kind of the larger varmints? Is that what you're referring to?
It's mostly mouse and rats.
Okay.
And we have bait stations we put out around exteriors and in crawl spaces and basements and garages.
And for everybody that don't know, there is definitely a difference between a mouse and a rat. So if you ever see a rat, believe me, you will remember it. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Now, let me ask you something. Tell us about your journey. You grew up, and I guess you grew up kind of in the business, but you had a choice whether you wanted to do this or not. Talk to us about your journey. How did you decide to jump in the family business?
So, as the son to the owner, Robert Templeton, I pretty much started my journey in this business once I graduated from high school, and I put in a lot of studying into entomology and pest control services and IPM, which is integrated pest management, and I try to further continue my education as I do so. I know that I guess finding my own identity and role within this company, there's a little bit of pressure to live up to the legacy of my parents.
Yeah.
So initially I struggled to assert myself and carve my niche out in the business. But I guess through perseverance and lots of studying, I've been doing better. I've been providing a better service, and I really enjoy this line of work. So the
Yeah.
attorney's come far, 6 years of experience. It's I'm blessed to be here.
Yeah. Well, you saying that about that makes you a bigger man in my eyes to admit that maybe at first you wasn't as assertive as you need to be, but you grew up from that. You've grown from that. A lot of us have that in our life. Nothing to be embarrassed about. When we were younger, we really didn't give it our all. And, as we grew and matured, we saw the necessity. And so that's great to know. And you were talking about all the education that you took. That's good to know too, because sometimes people come out to your house and you wonder, do they know more than I do? You just kind of wonder about it. So it's great to know that you're educated in these things. And and I don't mean to do all the talking, but kind of wanting to express my gratitude for your industry. One of the things that, we have issues with stuff sometimes. We don't know how to deal with it. We don't know what to do with these carpenter bees that are flying around all over, trying to eat our deck off the back of our house. We don't know how to deal with a lot of these things. So we appreciate educated folks like yourself that we can reach out to and say, hey, we're having trouble here. Can you help us? And you know exactly what to do. So that's a great. But can you tell us, Bradley, about any myths or misconceptions that people seem to have? Maybe the first time that you go out, it's their first time to ever deal with a pest control, things that they might, bring up, that they're questions that they have that you could help maybe on this program, help a lot of people with.
So one common misconception that I encounter a lot in the pest control industry is the belief that the do-it-yourself methods are just as effective as professional services. While the do-it-yourself solutions might seem more cost-effective up front, they often lack the expertise or specialized tools and access to potent treatments that professionals have. This can lead to incomplete eradication of pests or temporary relief without addressing the underlying issue. Professional pest control services offer comprehensive solutions that not only eliminate pests, but also prevent the future infestations, ensuring a pest-free environment for your home or business. I know usually with going out to people's places and stuff, some people think that we're just there and we can spray some chemical and it'll just make the pests just disappear forever. But now there's a lot of you gotta be meticulous. You gotta have a whole strategy, and that's where the IPM I mentioned earlier really comes into play. You have to think like a pest, and you have to go in there. And a lot of people, when they do it themselves, they don't really put stuff out in effective areas, and that's why pest professionals are pretty essential. And
that'd be that'd be kind of like sending me out to build a house, and I really don't know which nail to use, and I don't know which board to use, the length, not maybe the length, but the thickness or the. Somebody was talking the other day about building a deck, and if you didn't use the right material, the deck would start sagging every time. So in a matter of time, it's just going to start sagging. And so I wouldn't have known that. You sent me to build a deck, I wouldn't have known that. But you've studied and you've learned, and you know not only what the bugs look like, but you also know how they act and what they do, and what their goal is. And so you can get in there and put a stop to that. But like you said, it's not just a one-time thing. You go out there and ta-da, it's always done. It's done forever. So again, I appreciate your expertise. Well, let me ask you this, Bradley. Getting outside of the business, you said you live in Lafayette, right? So you live out in the country, so to speak. And I'm an old country boy myself. So tell me what you do for fun when you're not working.
Well, it may sound kind of geeky or nerdy, but I really enjoy just entomology in general. Like I'll just go out in the yard and I'll start just seeing what the ants and the bees are up to, and I just try to study them. I really enjoy the carpenter bees because they kind of remind me of like small puppies, even though they'll do a lot of damage to your house if you're not careful.
Yeah, they sure will. I'll attest to that.
I know I also like to do rock climbing and stuff also in my free time.
All right.
Oh,
That rock climbing requires you to be pretty athletic, somewhat, right? If
yeah.
if you're not athletic, if you keep it up, you will be.
I know crawling into attics and then crawling in crawl spaces and going in those dark and musty areas,
Yeah.
it requires to stay fit for the most part.
Yeah. When I was just out of high school, I got hired by a pest control company. And this was back in the days when they hand you a tank and said, go get them, son. I mean, there was no learning. There was nothing. They just told you to go spray around the walls and, spray here and spray there. I didn't know what I was doing. But, I was a lot more fit then to be able to do a lot of them things than I am now. That's for sure. So I totally understand what you mean. Bradley, if there was one thing that you wish our listeners knew about your business that they wouldn't know unless you told them, and you wish you could just shout it from the rooftops, whether it's about Beaumont Pest Control or whether it's just about pest control in general, what would it be?
Well, the one thing I'd love our listeners to know is that Beaumont Pest Control isn't just another company. We're a small, family-owned business deeply committed to our community. What sets us apart is our dedication to providing affordable prices without compromising on the quality of our work. Every job we undertake is handled with the utmost care and attention to detail, as if we were treating our own home, our own family's home. By choosing us, our customers aren't just supporting a business, they're supporting a local family striving to make a difference in their community, one pest-free home at a time.
There you go. There you go. How can you beat that, right? People who are family owned, they not only care about you, but they care about their own reputation as well. So that's hard to beat, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Bradley, I know a lot of folks are probably going to say when they see this podcast, they're going to say, well, how do I get in touch with these people? So tell us online and offline how people can reach out and learn more about you or contact you.
Well, okay, so online, we have our website, which is www.beaumontpc.com, and you can schedule appointments and find all the information you need from there. They can also email us at beaumontpestcontrolllc@gmail.com, and you can schedule or inquire an appointment if you need to. And then offline, you can call us at 706-764-0036 and schedule over the phone. Or you could show up at our office here in Ringgold, 1422 Beaumont Road, Ringgold, Georgia, 30736.
Bradley, did you say anything about whether y'all offer like a free consultation or anything like that? Did you mention anything about that?
No, sir. I did not. We try to do our consultations over the phone. We will, if you are having any issues, especially with termites, we'll come out and we'll give an estimate, and
there you go.
We'll talk to you about what's the best method to taking care of any of your issues.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. You coming out and checking it out and then saying, okay, this is what it's going to take. Exactly. Well, it's great to know that Beaumont Pest Control is out there, and it's great to know that we got Bradley on our team, because Bradley, that's one of his hobbies even, is to keep studying the methods and the movements of these insects so he can help better serve you. So it's been our pleasure meeting you here today, Bradley.
Hey, it's my pleasure being here. Thank you for having me on here.
Absolutely. And you tell your dad and mom, whoever else in the business, the family business, you tell them I always said hi from the Good Neighbor podcast.
Will do.
And all the good neighbors of the Cleveland and Chattanooga area, after meeting Bradley and learning more about Beaumont Pest Control, well, I know he hopes you'll take a moment to consider them when you need or want the products and services that they provide. So, and to all you out there listening today, before we end this episode, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to visit with us at the Good Neighbor Podcast. Always remember to support the locally owned and or operated businesses in Cleveland and the Greater Chattanooga area. This is Scott Howell of the Friends and Neighbors Group. Everyone go out and make this a remarkable day.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpcleveland.com. That's gnpcleveland.com or call 423-380-1984.